of your own where you fit into the whole thing, and that
Exactly.
creates a big problem because a lot of the kids that end up in problems are sometimes the brightest ones out there in
Right.
terms of but they're not quite, they don't
Well, it's different even than your academic intelligence, which is that's it's been one of the most interesting elements is working because so many times the community said, oh, you have to get into the schools, you have to get into the schools, and we've been working with the schools and it's so wonderful because they're finally saying this is an area that the community has to be involved. The parents have to be involved. This is not, this is not an academic approach to mental health.
Right.
They said we do, if you look at the resources they have in the schools, they're absolutely amazing. But that will not do it. It takes the entire community to create mental health. And the school district, the school unions. The teachers. This morning, we were information from Dr. Stone. Dr. Napolitano was there last night, and he sent personally sent the information about Save a Life to the other superintendents locally, and it was just so nice that they, even on their level, they said we want to support this. This is the community that is looking. They're wanting to educate the children and outside of the classroom in the same and
Right,
something
because
that's
I think
so important.
I think a lot of what we do is unfortunately, even as well intentioned as we are, we sometimes do counterproductive things with this because they just don't. It's just amazing when I talk to these girls, but about what their life is really
Right.
like. And what they're going through, and there is bullying isn't black and white anymore. It's
No.
all sorts of shades of,
Absolutely.
and a lot of them, a lot of very intelligent, great kids feel oppressed in their own way. And don't, and I, so and you really can't. You have to kind of listen to what that
You have to
what
listen and you
what
have to work it into every component of their life, and that's why we were saying I feel like the schools are they're working it into their component. That's why we want to work so closely with coaches, with scout leaders, with everyone, because they're bringing a very important element to the child. But you have to coach that whole child. It's wonderful if they're the greatest basketball player and the greatest lacrosse player, but we want you as a coach to put their health first. Always put their mental health, their physical health, put that first. Just like we're talking about the police, everyone else.
right.
If we always put even in school, I'm just saying, even teachers, anyone, we're saying put their mental health first, that there are times that they're just getting too much on their plate, and they have to be able to say to you, I need to balance this. And
Right.
that's, and I think as a community, we have to recognize that. You have to say, there's where is the pressure coming from? And as the coach and the teacher and the parent and the youth leader, you have to be looking for it. And you have to say, I see something that, and you might say there's no reason in the world you should be stressed, but if they're feeling it, they're feeling it.
Right, and what's also fascinating too is also I think the peer-to-peer communication is, because I think a lot of these kids, if they, if they don't understand they're alone in this. I mean, it's even that fear of communicating within their own peer group it becomes a big problem, and that's where this subtle bullying comes in. And,
Yep.
That's what I love about doing that. When you train them with their peers, you're just so much stronger because you're not the only one that's saying, I see something that's wrong, let me help. You see, and even when it came down to the safe driving, it was very interesting hearing the different groups that are working on eating disorders and how their discussions are priceless. They really know their peers. And they know when you were creating your own pamphlets, Victoria's already worked on 2 sets, and it's when you see them, you're like, oh, I wouldn't have put that in there, and that's how they talk to each other. It just is. It's
great.
But I think it's a very it's instead of talking to them and preaching to them and giving them you're really starting to have to listening to them. is
But
a
listen
very-
with community ears. Listen in a way that you don't say, "I'll fix it," because you can't fix it. You need your nurses and your doctors and your health teachers, and you need everybody. You need those coaches and those youth leaders. You need every one of them to be just a part of that fix. But our greatest tool is using students to help other students.
Yeah,
I
To
think
be
that
using
is a great
informed students, because it's easy to talk to a student who, here's Victoria. She couldn't be more organized. She's working on a gold award. She knows what she wants to do. So she's going to let us give her information, and she's going to give us feedback. That's not how we're going to be able to communicate with 80% of teenagers. But Victoria knows how to communicate with way more than we, maybe not all of them, but they know. And then it happens to be you communicate with some that then know how to reach the ones she can't. And it keeps going, and that's how that is how it works.
We should also mention, Tricy, if you hadn't before, I don't know, that it's $12 registration fee. People should know that.
Correct.
Yeah.
There is a $12 registration fee. If there is any issue with the fee, if they call our office, we can absolutely help with that. We have some PTAs that are supporting it.
Oh,
We have
great.
some different. So we have had sponsors for everything except it came down to the lunch and the registration fee, and we just said, you know what, we'll put it on there. If we can find someone that will sponsor it, we'll
That's
give
great.
everybody's money back.
Right.
It just came down to
Sure. No,
this
you have to
is
cover your costs.
completely.
Yeah.
I was going to say it's
Yeah, well,
completely
we-
run
you
with
gotta
a
get us to-
budget.
you gotta-
Yes,
yeah.
and so we're trying to. Everyone that can possibly contribute, even if it's to say, can you maybe not charge us for a room, or we're looking for. We've put out letters to everyone, and every place we find helps, and then we would we knew in order to say we could do it, we had to put the $12 fee on there, and we were like, that's less than a movie, and you're going to come out of there so you will have a wonderful experience. The interactive driving simulators are going to be, that's more exciting than a movie, and you're going to go home with lots of information. And if we can get it sponsored, we will definitely take care of them. But for now, it's free Ritas. You get your Panera lunch. You're there all day, and
I like the symmetry of Rita's Ices and the driving simulators, which it reminds me of the Beatles song, Lovely Rita, Meter Maid.
there you go.
Somebody dressed
There's
up as
your
Rita,
words.
the Meter Maid.
That-
And these days it could be a man. I'm not volunteering. But,
right? Yes.
But we
it
should
could.
mention that the website is, I think by this point, we don't have to say www anymore, do we? I think everybody
No,
knows.
we're okay.
Uh,
Worldwide.
SaveALife2014.eventbrite, BRITE.
Correct. Or you can just go to Alliance for Safe Kids,
Okay.
and we'll
AllianceForSafeKids.org.
right on the homepage.
.org,
Correct.
right.
The AllianceForSafeKids.org, and honestly, every school website, town website, every link we can get it on, it's there. So we're hoping that if you have a high school student, you're seeing this 5 different times. You're getting it from your church, from your sports group, from your school, from your scout leader, from your the play that you're putting on. And there's a lot of events that are being held that day, and we're saying we still want the students to know about it because they might know somebody else that they could recommend to attend, and also they'll realize that we're going to put it on video, and when they can watch it, they will.
Oh, that's great. Really, and you say this is the 4th annual, right, Save a Life. And I remember going back to the first one, and just hearing you describe this, it sounds like it's really come a long way in terms of how well organized it is and making it really hospitable to both the young people and their parents for the purpose of learning.
And that is, it's
what they need
actually,
to know.
when I looked, it's almost verbatim to when the faith-based community came to
Right.
us. They said, this is what we want it to be. And
remember
we
that.
just spoke again with Mother Claire,
Claire, yep.
And so Rabbi
She
Weiner.
sort of started
they-
or helped start
absolutely,
it. We
they-
should give shout out to Mother Claire. Because I remember she helped get this going.
and Rabbi Weiner worked
And-
on
right.
that first one and
Beth
brought
Allen.
and I don't even want to leave people out because all of a sudden I'm going, oh no,
I
there were
know,
so
that's
many
right.
people. But they absolutely said it has to be a community environment that gives them interactive, role-playing, life-saving skills that they can leave with. And they said it can't just be the students. It has to be parents and, that are getting it separately, but together. And then hopefully, like even when we were talking about the alcohol awareness, that when you're going home, parents are saying, "Ooh, I hope I don't get that phone call." And students are saying, "Oh, I hope I'm never, at a party where the police are coming. But if they are and they do, I know how to handle it and I know what I need to do." And same thing with the parents, and you know how to be respectful of the police department and how to have a good conversation with your high school student that will be productive and hopefully deter the next, another phone call.
Yeah, no.
But
absolutely,
again,
yeah.
they're healthy, they're safe. If you get that phone call, your first thought should be, maybe I'm not happy, but oh my goodness, I know where they are and I know I can address this.
Yeah, well, they say
And
you-
that's the
when they-
response.
When you hug them,
Yeah.
you're grateful that they're home.
And you have
and
that
then
conversation.
then you
yeah.
have the conversation later.
Yes.
But the first thing is,
You just,
yeah,
and
glad
you
to
say thank you to whoever saved them. Instead of being angry at a neighbor or anyone that recognized a problem, you need to say thank you and you need
Somebody
to address
who's
the
trying to be a
issue.
neighbor, but that's a different topic altogether. Anyhow, we want to repeat it's Save a Life on Saturday, April 5 at the Yorktown Stage and Community Center from 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. And we gave you the information on how to register. And we want to thank Tricy Cushner, President of Alliance to Save Kids. Again, great job. And
yeah.
Thank
all,
you.
I don't want to say good luck on April 5th, but we
We'll
hope
take
everything
good
goes
luck.
really well.
We
okay,
always
that's-
like good
well,
luck.
you make your own luck, and you obviously have worked very hard, along with people like Victoria, to make sure this works really well for everybody. And thanks very much, Victoria.
for having
Victoria
us.
Cicinelli, who is the teen ambassador,
Correct.
right,
Yep.
for the safe driving component of,
Yep.
of Save a Life. And, I don't think it's overstating it to say this is one of the most important events in Yorktown all year, easily.
Yeah,
right?
and we wish it much luck in the future, and we've got other things that we've.
You're right with us. You are part of that alliance.
We're gonna
Our
talk
biggest
about in the
ally.
future. I think I think we really want to get the town to be much more of a partner in this than
I
we
love it.
have
I
been
think
in
between the
past.
safer communities and this, we're on the right. We're
Yeah, yeah.
absolutely
But
on the right
I think
track.
it's time for the town proper to step up to the plate a little bit more than we have in the past.
I love it. We'll do it
And on
gently,
that
and it's going to happen.
positive note, thank you for watching Grace Notes with Town of Yorktown Supervisor Michael Grace. I'm Bruce Haypar of Chase Media Group. Be sure to watch us next time and every time because Yorktown is your town. Thank you.